All right, thanks for logging on for your Weather First Facebook update. I'm Alex Schroeder. Of course, we're talking about Hurricane Irene. This is the update including the 11 a.m. update and forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Here's the satellite picture. Doesn't look too impressive, but it is starting to re-intensify as it is over some warmer Atlantic water here as it came off of Puerto Rico from this morning. We'll start to see it intensify some more later on this afternoon. And over the next couple of days, the National Hurricane Center says that the first hurricane of the 2011 hurricane season could become our first major hurricane, attaining Category 3 strength by about Tuesday into Wednesday, even Thursday as well. Here's the latest forecast cone of uncertainty, as we like to say. The forecast calls for it sticking north of the island of Hispaniola. That's significant. The island will not do too much to try to weaken the storm. There's some high mountaintops in the middle of the island. It will help to weaken it just a little bit, but not significantly like we were thinking over the past several runs from the National Hurricane Center. As it moves towards the Bahamas and northeast of Cuba, it should intensify to a Category 3 hurricane. Now, if you put a center line in this cone, it makes landfall as a Cat 3 hurricane in portions of South Carolina Saturday morning. But of course, we need to keep an eye on this big spread on the forecast track. Here is the latest. As a close-up view over the state of Florida, it has shifted further east, now from about Tallahassee down to Key West. And I think over the next couple of runs, this, of course, will get a little smaller, the forecast cone. We will begin to see, I think, a little more of a trend towards the east. The computer models have been trending that way as well. I'll give you the numbers here. Winds at 80 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 13 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure at 988 millibars. That begins to fall, and that's when you get a strong intensifying hurricane. So we will continue to watch this because we are in the cone. Now, here's the forecast spaghetti models. They've been shifting towards the east. Now, we're all depending on an area of high pressure off towards the east. You can kind of see where the edge of that could be from some of these computer models. The track of this really depends on how strong or how weak that area of high pressure is. If it's a little bit stronger than we think it is, a track closer towards the state of Florida is more likely. If it starts to weaken out a little bit, it could track further towards the east, like some of these further computer models. So some of these computer models across the west coast of the state of Florida are pretty reliable. They've been outliers for the past several days, but we can't totally deny them. That's why the National Hurricane Center has kept their track somewhere in the middle of all of these computer models. And I think eventually we might see the computer models shift back towards the west just a little bit as we get a little bit more data into these computer models to make them a little bit better. Now, here is the tropical storm wind probability. This is the probability of seeing tropical storm winds sustained in this particular area. And from Sarasota to Charlotte County, it's about 20%, so very low, 30% as you move further east. And of course, that number increases to near 100% offshore. So again, with this current forecast track, the weather impacts to the Suncoast, Sarasota, Charlotte counties will be very minimal. A few breezy days, some increased rain chances, but any shift back towards the west will increase those weather effects. Here's our 6-day forecast. 40% chance of rain Tuesday into Wednesday. I left the increased rain chances there for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because we just don't know yet. That could be what we get out of this. Of course, I think it will be breezy no matter where Irene goes because of what we call a pressure gradient in between a low pressure and a high pressure system. Well, that's when you get breezy conditions. So I think that'll happen no matter what, but the increased wind speeds will definitely be further towards the east, towards the center of the storm. We will continue to update this. Another forecast track will be issued by the National Hurricane Center at 5 p.m. Chief Meteorologist Justin Mosley will be in and will provide you with an update on that when that comes out from the National Hurricane Center. Thanks for logging on to SNN Local News 6 on Facebook.